everybody, it's Cinnamon Cody, your Art Sherpa, and today is the opening day of Hollow Thanksmas, and also my intro doubled. We're starting the 13 days of Halloween for what is the most amazing, loving, incredible, fantastic art community on planet Earth ever, period, bar none.
Mm-hmm.
And breathe. And so over there is my husband, John.
Hi, guys.
I'm so excited to be bringing this whole 13 days of live, fun, Halloween painting tutorials to you guys. It just pleases me so much. And we're kicking this off with an Oz theme piece.
Yes, we are.
Who loves Wizard of Oz?
I do.
Who loves the musical Wicked?
Well, okay.
Me? I'm still here. John,
I haven't seen it.
He hasn't seen it.
I haven't. I honestly, I hear good things.
He hears good things.
I hear good
So
things.
If you haven't seen it, you should. All right. So this is sort of from me inspired by that. If you're brand new here and you're like, man, I really want to learn to paint. I'm really excited about this painting. And maybe I've done a sip and paint. And you're like, how's this going to work? It's going to be real similar to that. We're going to start out. I'm going to talk to you guys about how to get all of the colors. We're going to talk about the color mixing. This really is, I'm going to put this at the 2-hoot level. If you don't use the traceable, and you can find the traceable on the link, you'll see a link below in the description, and you go there and there's a PDF, and you can grab that and print it out and use that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely cool, not cheating. But if you don't use the traceable, I'd say it's a high 2-hoot, and if you do use the traceable, it's a low 2-hoot. And that's on a scale of 1 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, got a medium little groove here. The colors are simple. The color mixes are not that complicated. It's just a few ranges and shades. And really, this is just all about design and graphics. So I think you're going to have a really easy, fun time painting it in. Let's talk real quick about the materials.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am.
You are?
We do. So,
all right.
Okay.
So I have an 11 by 14 canvas, and I have transferred the image on with my traceable using Ceril paper. I do hand draw these.
Mm-hmm.
I just like to make sure we're all kind of working from the same space when we're painting together. And we like to put wishes on our canvas, and I have a lot of wishes because it's been a little while since we've been live. I have a wish for Beth and her daughter. I just want them to be freed from the fear of health issues and to start having really good health news so that they can both start living really connected, not fearful lives.
Yeah.
Really want that for them. They wrote me something that really touched me. Our own Tanya's daughter. Well, I would like to say that I'm wishing for her to have super balanced blood sugar, and I wish that for myself and anybody out there. And on top of that, I would really love the total and final cure for diabetes.
Yes.
All right. Then we have a happy birthday to Kathleen. And then Bryn. So someone took Bryn's family's wedding rings, and she's wishing that those just come back to her.
Yes.
Not really concerned about how, but that they just show back up, and I wish that too. And I've had that happen in my life before, so I think it can happen for you. And finally, and most importantly, relief for Puerto Rico and Houston and Florida and Mexico and anywhere on planet Earth that our cousins, regardless of geography, are being impacted by natural disasters. And listen, guys, be patient with me because I don't watch the news at all. Find it very depressing.
Yes.
So I'm sometimes a little behind on what's happening. Just let me know if there's somebody I should be putting a wish out for, any of that. I kind of only catch things if it's on DeFranco. That's my news source. So I'm more up on what's happening on YouTube than maybe globally. But I'm also not mad, so there's a balancing act here.
In all fairness, you don't leave a lot of time for watching the news. You do a lot of painting.
True. But I wouldn't be painting if I was watching the news. I'd be crying.
You listen to audiobooks.
Not saying that's everybody. That's me.
What I will say is she does.
Music.
You listen to audiobooks and music.
Mm-hmm.
All the time I'm in here and she's got audiobooks on.
And music.
And music on.
Let's talk about the paint. So I have some
like
paint colors out here. These are, of course, in the description below.
Okay.
I have some Cad Yellow Docs Purple, Phthalo Blue, Cad Red Light. We've got this cool iridescent bright gold. Listen, if you don't have this and you don't want to go buy new paint, just use yelloh ochre. It'll be fine. Green shade. And I'm going to take, this is a money-saving action here. I'm going to use, instead of a fluid white paint, I'm going to use Gesso.
Okay.
It's going to give me a really cool matte finish, and it's easier on my pocketbook sometimes than using this. And if it's not necessary to use this, sometimes I'll default to this. But you guys can use any white paint you have.
Oh, so you pointed to black paint.
I did?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have white gesso and I have black gesso.
Oh, okay. There you go. So
right?
white gesso.
And I have black fluid. And I'm just saying,
Ah.
there's lots of little decisions that one can make in the art studio to save money.
So you'll be using white gesso instead of fluid white paint and black gesso instead of fluid black paint?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, where it's like appropriate. And it gives me a nice matte finish, and I usually finish my pieces matte because they have to be photographed, though I prefer them to be gloss. It's an interesting deal.
Speaking of finish, while you're putting your paint on, did you put the finishing touches there on your hat? They're very
This
fabulous.
was made for me, and this was heart mail.
That was
we
heart
have
mail?
not done a heart mail in a really long time,
and
but this was heart mail. I am not the artist behind this fabulous, amazing, spectacular hat.
that's a community hat.
So I put out some phthalo green shade and some phthalo blue shade. I'm going to spare my pocketbook and put out some gesso.
I'll go ahead and put your picture up for you there.
Thank you so much. And, of course, I have managed to paint today in the colors the camera dislikes the most.
Those green and blue ones.
The aquas and turquoises, which is like my favorite. And yet,
I don't know.
I keep trying to mess with the camera, I guess. So I'm mixing 1-to-1, and I'm just using my plastic palette knife. So I'm just using my little plastic palette knife to mix it. To get a nice even. This is a thoroughly mixed mixture I'm going for. So in painting, I'm going to try to either thoroughly mix this or loosely mix this, where it's just kind of like, but this is the thorough mix. So it doesn't have a lot of streaks and swirls and marbling. Right? I'm going to wipe off on my towel. I'm going to get an appropriate sized brush.
What brush are you going to get?
Well, I feel like I'm going to get a number 10 Goldilocks.
Perfect.
I'm going to just dip this in water here, drag off the extra. And how I load my brush is I pull out and I flip and I pull out. And I'm going to do the same in my gesso. See? And I'm just going to paint in my whole canvas with this terrific aqua color. Now listen, you can buy phthalo turquoise, and if you have a tube of that or Southern Ocean blue, real similar color.
Ah, nice.
I'm going to just pull out some of my white gesso. The nice thing about gesso, using it too, is it gives, besides the matte finish, it's a nice tooth to paint over.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a whole bunch of features. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. And I'm going to just paint around. You can barely see it probably because I use the yellow from the Serral transfer paper. So it may be hard for you to see, but I just transferred my traceable on. So I'm just painting this whole background. First it did.
Yeah.
First it did. And I'm not gonna worry too much about the end of the hat here, because I'll be whimsically painting it in with my black paint in a minute, and I can leave room for my whimsy to come online later.
Frances says she really likes your bracelet.
Thank you, Frances. I feel fancy.
It's very rainbow shiny. I didn't actually notice that before. It is very pretty.
Yeah, John has known this for years. Well, when he first met me and we were first dating, I was paying for college working as a kids clown.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why when people come by the gym, they're like, "You're such a clown." I'm like, so true.
In Houston, driving in a Ford Escort without air conditioning.
In full makeup. It was a difficult time.
I was a boyfriend. I was like, we cannot have this any longer. We must find air conditioning in Houston for your vehicle now.
He was pretty horrified.
It was like,
but he is used to me being a very colorful, strange person. It's not like I snuck it up on him.
No.
And he himself is sort of a character, so it's okay. It worked out.
We met at a live action role playing game.
Yeah. So
there was some deep dorkery.
I'm so excited to be kicking off craft season.
Oh my, yes.
Yeah, with this painting with Wicked.
Wicked
Witch.
I really love this painting.
It's John's favorite so far of the season.
I have to say though, every time you did the pumpkin, and it was like, oh, the pumpkin's so good.
And then you like the Witch Sisters.
And then I like the Witch Sisters. So it's like, it's tough because this season, I love Halloween. That's it's one of my favorite things.
Oh, it's just the best.
And,
John does love him some Halloween.
We've one of these days we're going to do some big Halloween celebrations here. One of these years we'll get some
bigger than 13
Well,
days
yeah,
painting live every day?
You know, what am I?
Because 13 days live every day.
Yeah, so you can see that, and Cinnamon's like, yeah, I know, you're thinking big too.
And guess what we're doing on the last day?
We're doing a pumpkin carve.
We're doing a pumpkin carve.
We are.
Artfully.
And,
Yeah,
that's
we're going to win the craft season.
Now, what's going to be cool about the pumpkin carve? Oh, no, tell them what you're doing there, because I'm talking.
So what I'm doing is I'm pulling out a little more color. I had started to run out of pigment, and I'm just going to go back in this and get a little more color.
Yeah.
And pull this in. And look, I mixed a lot more than I needed here. I could probably paint 3 or 4 paintings with that amount of aqua that I mixed. But this is one of the best colors in the universe. We found this is probably one of the colors I use the most in my paintings commonly. So that's sort of funny. And the nice thing here on this bright, what I like about this and what you want to look for when you're trying to paint this, when you're painting a background around a trace shape, is you need a brush, whatever brush you're using, right, that will let you work around the lines tightly. See how this lets me, even though it's quite big, it has such a nice edge, I can work around these lines.
Yeah.
So whatever you're using, whatever you're choosing in your home experience, just be sure you're picking the tool that lets you do that. Right? Because a lot of times, like we were talking like the other day about, fan brushes being just hard to use and people thinking it was them when it was really just maybe an issue with a brush. All right, so I'm coming down to the braid. I don't worry about the little fiddly hairs because I'm going to be painting those little fiddly hairs in with the black paint. So I'm not that worried about it.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this year's Halloween event. I hope that next year I get to help be more of a part of it. 'Cause,
you'll be scooping pumpkin guts.
I will be.
You will be.
But it's like
you will be. That's what we do. We paint live.
I'm actually super excited about the pumpkin carve because we're going to be doing all sorts of fun things that day.
It's a fun day, and I actually have some pretty. You'll if you want to know what the schedule is and to get the earliest notifications of designs and things, go to the Art Sherpa page collection on our webpage and check out the Halloween collection. It'll show you paintings we have that are Halloween themed from the past. If you're looking for stuff that's already up,
yep.
Maybe you're looking for something particular and I've already painted it. And then you can also see what's coming up and stay up on that news because we've got a lot going on. This is the season, man.
Now, the great thing about the pumpkin carve...
I wait for this all year. The craft season.
The great thing about that pumpkin carve being on the 13th is that it's that perfect time to be able to start getting your pumpkin, think about what you're going to look for, what your design's going to be and start carving.
So, well, here for those of you who showed up and watched this video, you guys get a clue.
Yeah.
You're going to want a pumpkin with a really interesting stem.
Yes.
Look for the ugly, fugly, weird pumpkin.
And we're gonna have some traceables for you, so it'll be really easy to cut them out. And
I'm just making sure my background. See, I'm just pulling and loading. How I do that: pull, load.
Yep.
If you want it to be darker, add more pigment. If you want it to be lighter, add more gesso. Gesso is different than white paint in that its tinting strength is lower, so it's more than it's just chalky. It also has a much lower tinting strength. But this is nice in this environment because it gives us this beautiful smooth matte finish and saves me some money. Who doesn't want to save some money over craft season? So I'm just kind of going over all of this with a second coat. And just make sure it has a finish that I like. If you're painting really super economical paints, be prepared to give things 2 and even 3 coats. Doesn't mean you can't get there. It just may mean that it takes a little longer to make it around the bend. I am rinsing my brush out. You can hear the swishing. I'm going to wipe this off so it's not just soaking in water. I'm going to lay it aside. I'm going to get sippy. And I'm going to say, hi.
Hi.
I'm trying to be all, you notice I'm being really cool?
You are.
Because we all know it's like
you know what time it is, though?
Crazy right now.
It is. Oh my gosh.
Let's bubble it up. We're almost out of bubble machine because for some reason we've been celebrating like crazy people.
We have been celebrating like
and
crazy
we're almost out of bubbles and I gotta go get more.
And you know what I have to hold on, I gotta find my
bubbles.
there it
Give
is.
me bubbles. Give me bubbles. Give me bubbles.
There you go. And thank you. We got over 400 people here with us right now. So thank you guys for coming and celebrating with us.
Come on,
We
give
have
a wiggle with
so
me.
much to celebrate.
You're in
And
your
thank
home.
you,
Nobody
thank you
needs to know.
guys.
Give a wiggle with me.
Yeah, come dance with us because we love to celebrate that we're alive and we're here and we're celebrating painting with you guys, our lovely, wonderful community that we couldn't be more happy to be with. So
Seriously.
thank you guys. Thank you, Prevost family. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, all you guys who are out there. We really, really appreciate this.
Just
And-
everybody. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And I have to tell you, I do feel the canvas wishes.
you do.
I feel them.
Yeah, I do too.
I feels them. I feel them.
So you got your sippy
I
there.
do.
I got I'm drinking a little coffee myself today.
I can hear it.
I can hear my coffee. I'm a little wound up. Is that what it is? Well, it's more. It's okay. Maybe I am a little coffeed up.
All right, I'm gonna do something. I don't want them to see this.
Okay,
make
don't
them
see
look
it.
away. Hi, how you guys doing? You don't need to know what's happening over
You
here
don't
at
need
all.
to see. Do not
Nope,
see.
I don't want them to see it. They don't need to see it. They'll be freaked out. They will be freaked out. All right, now we can come back.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to put out a little phthalo blue. You don't need to know what happened. Look away, look away.
So while you're distracting us, do you what do you
Little
have a,
phthalo green.
do you have a suggestion on
I have suggestions for everything.
varnish, gloss, or matte?
Okay, so personally on artwork, my personal preference in my house, I like a gloss because it deepens the colors and really brings them all together. For photography, for anything where you're out there in the space externally, you've got to do matte. So I'm going to start this out here, and I'll put out some. I may actually still do gesso, just to be unifying. You do white paint or gesso. I've got my titanium white here, which is fine, but you could also do gesso. My little recommendation for this next stint, right, is that you're going to, I need to put out a little black. These are the first colors I'm going to be working through, and then I'll get into the reds in a second. But I don't want to put them out because my studio is so hot today that they will just cure before I get to it. So I'm going to take a little of my green, not all of it, but a little bit. I'm going to grab some yellow, and I'm going to mix some basic skin tone for her. Right? This is her dark skin tone. And I'm even personally, again, because my studio is cooking today,
So Patty
going to add some slow it down because I don't want it to dry.
So Patty asked an interesting question that actually I
Very
have to deal
interested
with.
here.
So it was, can you take
little more yellow.
pictures and then varnish them?
Yes.
And actually,
But the problem with that is the reason why taking pictures and then varnishing is an issue is because you might have noticed that a lot of these paints come in different finishes.
yeah.
Some are glossy, some are matte, some are transparent. And so your painting can have several different fields of shiny. All right, that's the base color.
Yes.
Do we see the base color?
The base color.
Base color, I'm going to get a number 4 cat's tone.
It's skin tone green.
Right, skin tone green.
Which
This is the most important skin tone I've ever taught you. This is a number 4 cat's tongue. You could use a number 4 filbert. You could use a number 4 round. Really any brush that's just going to give you control inside the space. Now I'm going to do an interesting thing. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come and load just the green, right? Just the green on my brush. And I'm going to very carefully, because this is a very graphic piece,
Yep.
I'm going to just very carefully and smoothly follow my lines with my dark green. Like you do.
So this is the same skin tone you would use, say, on She-Hulk.
Oh, this would be an excellent mix for She-Hulk. Lots more shading to do on her. I'm going to come right under my nose here. And I'm going to make sure that I have a nice shadow coming down. Maybe even all the way into the divot. And you can bring a little bit of the shadow up around so you don't lose some of the lines that you have here. Noses are kind of crazy. We'll make sure you have a good one by the time it's done. And I also like to put a little shadow under the lip. Maybe a little one here. And then my favorite
zoom
shadow
So I can see that a little better.
will come under the hat, right? So ready for all the good TV to come back. So many good things happening. I just watched a whole bunch of Stranger Thing videos, so I'm super ready
So
for Stranger Things to come back.
actually, all the girls that you've done this year for Halloween, I was thinking I would love to see them all put together in an animated series.
They would be a good animated series. This Halloween has definitely been brought to you by the ladies of Halloween.
Yeah.
I'm following this little line here. Now when I'm coming back with the light color, right, there's a lot of this that will get cleaned up. I'm going to come from the bottom of her chin, right here. I'm going to curve up and down, and this is going to be a nice little graphic shadow here. See how nice and clean that is?
Yeah.
And I like to taper my lines where they get smaller and more tapered at the end. Little thing that I do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I forgot to do? And I always forget to do is this little bit right there.
That little bit.
Yeah.
There's a little shadow bit there.
There's a little bit of the background that shows through that. I always have to remix.
What are you doing down here?
I'm coming
You're moving
around.
on me.
I'm going to be doing the shoulders. I'm sorry, babe.
It's okay.
Now I'm going to give her a nice little dress. And that's just a scoop neck. See, I just come from this midpoint on the shoulder. Very lightly, I just scoop that down. And that gives her a nice outline. And while I'm here, just real fast, I'm going to mix a little 1-to-1. Right? Make my aqua again. And just make sure that this is painted in because I missed that. If you guys missed that, you could be doing that with me now. All right, so we have her kind of in. We know where stuff is, right?
Yeah.
So let's take this base skin tone, and I like to add just a smidge of the white to it. It's going to help with coverage. It's going to help with blending. I'm going to just do this little nose here. Now the trick is going to be to put our highlights in the right place, and we're really going to talk about that when we do it.
Mm.
But right now we're just making sure we've got nice green there, and we're going to paint all the stuff except the lips and the necklace and the dress in this green. And the reason I like to mix it up ahead of time is so that it's easy to get the color. Right? Because if you're trying to mix it for every little bit you're painting, it's real hard to get the color. But if you pre-mix it, it's easy. And this is about just kind of being chill and neat. A-type people, this is your jam. This is where you guys excel. You're about to own. Us B's will have to artfully muddle through. Anywhere you take out too much of your dark color, don't worry, you can come back and do a second coat. Again, if you're doing economy paints, you're probably going to need to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? See how nice that looks?
Oh, yeah.
I like that. I like that her blush is yellow, too. That was one of the things that made me super happy about her. It's like, her blush is yellow. But my trick with her is just trying to make her as graphic as possible and elegant as possible, because I definitely kind of hold that feeling that sometimes there's another side to the story. I've been loving that method of storytelling as of late. Where we find out the other person's story, right? Like we know Dorothy's, but we don't know her story. So that's been really fantastic to me. So I've left her lips there, and I'm going to come paint all the rest of her down here, right, with this green, which is, I think there's a McDonald's shake that is exactly this green. Shamrock. Not sponsoring this video, but still. So I'm just going to paint around her necklace. And you can just see, now I've lost a little bit of my line there, but it's okay because I can go back in a little bit with more line. And paint around my heart. Offload my brush and work the tip again. Dealing with the cooking studio. Oh, I'm getting cooked today. the temperature outside?
I think it's just that we have all of the lights on and none of the air conditioning.
Crazy.
Should I kick the air? I can kick the air.
No,
AC
because
on.
it's hair dryer, and I don't know if I'm gonna need the hair dryer.
Okay, we will.
I don't know if I'm gonna need it. Well, I mean, I guess we can turn it off.
I can turn it off.
Want to turn the hair dryer on?
You know, these will be problems I will be working on very soon. So
So excited. Anywho, just still painting along. You know, I pull in my white paint as I need it.
this is awesome. So we have a wonderful, YouTube has installed a wonderful auto filtering system that, it tries to catch people who might be saying something that could be inflammatory. And
Okay.
it's been really, really helpful. But Patricia was like, she needs flying monkeys, and the auto filtering system captured it and was like, "Are you sure you want this one to go through?" And we're like, "Nope, that one's totally on topic."
I'll tell you what. The secret to happiness is that saying, "Not my circus, not my monkeys," and then I like to add, "Yeah, because my monkeys fly."
That's right. All right, they were telling me I need to turn the air conditioner on for you. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like dying here. Seriously, can you feel it? It's just a day to day. It's like oveny today. Acrylic's drying real fast. I disbelieve channels when I look and their acrylic isn't drying. I'm like, yeah, I disbelieve you totally.
You must be painting inside a 100% humidity refrigerator.
No, not even then. I'm like, this acrylic never dries.
Ever.
All right, so we're getting super green. Super green.
Super
Ruby Red! You gotta watch a lot of Geek Green movies to get that joke.
That's one of my favorite characters.
Oh my gosh, it's like the best thing he ever did. I know he did other things, but that.
Actually, that entire film, Fifth Element, you guys just go and watch it.
So I'm just painting the second coat just to make sure that I'm happy with the look of my skin tone and it's the kind of finish that I want. Here's some advice. You guys get real picky on yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
1, speak very nicely to yourself. You're supposed to be your own best friend. So say nice things to you. 2, right? It may take 2 coats. It may take 3 coats, right? Paintings don't have like a time you've got to finish by. You don't got to finish with me. So if you're like, man, I think I need another coat, just give it another coat. Don't stress on it. So I'm going to rinse out my brush like you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to come up here with just my green. I'm not going to add any white to it, I think. And I'm going to paint under, I'm going to paint the band.
Hold on, let me get up there. There you go.
And I think I'm just going to not worry about where the buckle is. That's going to be the easiest for me. I'm going to paint around my flowers. Right? But I'm not going to worry about the buckle. I'll just put it in freehand. Because I, at this crazy moment, feel confident I can do that. Maybe I will change my mind. And this is the green without any white into it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we're at. We're doing really good. She comes in. She's just, I don't want to say she's like a coloring page, but she comes in very consistent little steps that just pull her together. And then she's, bam, spectacular.
Well, this is a very what is the word you use on this piece?
It's a graphic kind of pop piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a little deco to her. It's got a little flair. She feels like a poster. All right. So we made an aqua with phthalo blue and phthalo green and used gesso both to save money and to get a matte finish. And we painted the entire background with that. And that was after we put the image on the canvas, and I used the yellow sheet from the Serral transfer paper.
Mm-hmm.
My mom recommended that stuff is the bomb. All right. So then I mixed the green paint that I'm going to be using, and I took my pure phthalo green and outlined all the lines around her face. And then I came back with a mixture of my phthalo green and my cad yellow and a little bit of my gesso and painted in her skin tone where I didn't put those dark mixes. And then I took the pure phthalo green and phthalo and cad yellow and painted in her band.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we're at.
That's
and I'm
where
going to sip my coffee now because I think we're doing pretty good. How are you doing?
We're doing very good. Well,
How are you guys doing at home?
They're having a great time hanging out with us today. It is a pretty fantastic. They dropped it.
It
was the dog. The dog
The
tripped
dog
my
got
cable.
the button. The dog also, the chameleon does not like the bubbles. You know that meme with the chameleon that catches bubbles? We keep trying. Our chameleon is like, no, put me on my climbing thing.
Now,
Give me fat worms.
Kimmy was asking while
Hi, Kimmy.
while we're dancing with our bubbles, can
Let's be like
can you,
Sherpa chi. It's mostly like just floating around fluidly and not spilling my coffee. All right, Kimmy.
So she was asking, can you mix your craft paint with your heavy body paints?
Yeah. Unless it says on the bottle on an acrylic paint that it doesn't work with other products, it probably does. I'm not saying like everybody over at the Pro Paint lines will be like, yeah, mix up the deco with the, but it's fine.
Yeah.
And people do it, and it works just fine.
Yeah, and if you're going to be doing that in your professional craft in your professional work, there's
Still do what you need to do as an artist. Pros know what they need to do.
yeah, pros know what you guys.
They know what they need to do. Don't you be worried about it. You paint. And then dance like bubble fairies. I swear I need a bubble one and a whole fairy costume and a field of flowers, and I just want to skip through. That's how I feel today. How do you?
I feel like Macklemore, and we danced like we've never danced
So
before.
good. You know why my coffee is warm?
Because
my coffee warmer.
because of a wonderful Sherpette named Alan who sent you a warmer because Alan knows you like warm coffee.
I'm going to add a little highlight to my cheeks now that it's dry.
Thank you, Alan.
I'm going to take a little of my green that I mixed on the tip of my brush. See how I'm loading just the tip here? And I'm coming over to my yellow, and you can see me going pull, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
You can add a little white to that as well. I want it to be green, but a little yellow. I'm going to add a little more green. So this is, see how this is a bright yellow green?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to come under here. And like I'm going to blush, I'm stroking. I'm going from a little bit back from the nose where I'm imagining the cheek is here. And I'm just stroking, right? See? Like a little blush. And come right under here and do the same, but stroke from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. And the other place I like to put a little bit of this yellow is on the nose. So I'm going to come here to this side of the ball of the nose, come across. And I'm sort of like doing these little circular strokes to maintain the shape. If I need to dip the tip of my brush in water and go brush, 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 and refluid it up, I do that. And see, that really helps me. You can put a little bit at her chin here, too. Where you think people would have a blush is where you can put that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to rinse that out.
Oh, I need to give you your little... There it goes.
And I'm going to load back up. Phthalo green is super transparent even in the Pro Paint.
I always thought it was a weird green. I had no idea what to do with it until I saw you paint with it. I always thought it was like the...
I'm kind of alone. I seem to have started off a trend like now a lot of artists paint with it, but before this I would be like at places and artists like, why are you using phthalo? That color is crazy.
It's a weird color. I always thought, because I never, like, I paint model paint.
I got it from my mother. My mother was the first crazy person painting with phthalo, so, sometimes you inherit a color thing, and I just worked it out. Now it's a thing. But it didn't used to be. It used to be you were crazy.
The color theory from you guys has drastically improved my miniature painting.
Yeah. I'm about to sneeze.
Ready? Okay. Okay. She doesn't actually sneeze. She goes, achoo! And then, so I'm waiting for her ears to pop.
All the moms
day.
in here pray for me anytime I'm about to start to sneeze because I've had 3 kids. And they all just laughed. Because they know. All right, so I'm coming around the chin. And all the young women who had kids, what? Wait, what? Don't tell them. They won't do it.
There's a secret
club. All right,
club.
so I'm going to come under the chin here and down the neck. And what I'm doing is I'm just refining the lines. And I'm going to come right under the nose. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And maybe just a smidge up the corners, but just a little bit. See how that is?
Mm-hmm.
It is subtle touches that make the difference. And I like to bring a little line across the top of the little shift dress here. And you can come down here. You can actually be a rebel and just cross your braid because it's black paint. I'll paint it right out. don't feel trapped. Rinsing this all out so much. Rinsing it all out, okay? Now, get a little of your white on the tip of your brush. See how I've just got that right there? We're going to come here. This stroke is like a little C. See that little C? Then to the outer part of this nostril, do a dot and just even less of one over here. And that's how you get the reflection on the nose so that your nose feels like a nose. And if you're having trouble seeing it, even still, here's the hack.
Okay.
Take the smidgiest smidge of your black to your phthalo green. And I mean a smidgy smidge. Okay?
Okay.
Come underneath here. And you can strengthen that shadow. Smidge. Because it's tough to take the black up. It's easy to add, but it's tough to take the black up.
Yeah.
See? So how we're just creating a bit of a hinted shadow? Look at that.
Wow.
Pop!
That's it?
Yeah.
All right. So Denise...
It's very stressful, but that's it. So you're good. Let's start putting in our black hat.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, Denise had a question.
Hi, Denise.
So she was she said, "We are Sherpa." What does that mean? Also, what does Sherpa itself mean? She's a newbie and was like,
Hi!
I don't understand.
We're such a weird show.
She
on
loves
YouTube.
you though, but she was like, by the way, I love you. I've been sharing you with all my friends. Totally love the show. Thank you. But she just was like, could you please explain?
So we are Sherpa. Early days, whenever, because it used to, I mean, like, nobody was doing live like that much on things. So if 300 people came to a live show, we were all telling that we are Sparta joke. And so it became we are Sherpa. And we'd be like, we are Sherpa. And then we dance. John eventually got me a bubble machine.
And we danced. And then bubbles happened.
And then bubbles happened because Texas snowflakes.
Because there aren't snow. There's no snow in
No snow in Texas, so
so
Texas snowflakes.
Texas
And
snowflakes.
a Sherpa is a mountain guide that lives in Nepal, and it's actually a whole community of people, and within those communities are Sherpas, and they guide people in dangerous mountain regions or areas where the Sherpas are very familiar and have a lot of skill sets, but the people coming in may not.
Mm-hmm.
Though lately that's been kind of a thing because a whole bunch of stuff with mountain climbing and Everest that is very complicated that my name has nothing to do with. Mine is just about the idea that art is a challenging mountain, and I'm going to guide you up it one step at a time.
Mm.
That was the thinking.
And when we are
And
all
I'm
Sherpa together, that means we're having a party.
We're having a party, man.
We're dancing.
All right, so I'm going to take my number 4, and I'm going to take a little of my blue over to my black, and I'm going to mix them in a 1-to-1 mixture, like you do. Right? A little of this. I could have done this with a palette knife. That would have also been smart. But it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to do this first part of my hat. Just painting this in with this blue black. And it is noticeably a blue black. Maybe not on camera here yet. Soon to be noticeably blue black. But if you're at home, what you should be seeing is a black with a distinctive blue undertone. Think about when you've seen really gorgeous black hair and it has that almost blue undercast. That's what you're looking for here. And I'm just painting this in. I'm not worried about my brush stroke direction or any of that here. I am worried about my edges. So see how I'm just stroking, trying to give myself nice crisp edges? Nice crisp edges. And remember, guys, you can be using any brush you need to get this done. You don't have to. Brushes are cool. Brushes are awesome, but the magic is you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to win some, you still can. No. Okay. All right, so here's the thing. Coming up here, coming down here. And I'm just following in my little traceable lines, which hopefully I'll remember when I'm painting my highlights in here. Putting in this hat. And you know, those of you that have been with me for a while, you know about the bubble witch thing. And you know about my feelings about Elphaba and all of that. And I would sing, but I'm not mad at you.
You sing every night, and you sing quite nicely.
No. But it's okay because you know what? It's like, why do you sing? You sing because you're happy, not because everyone needs to come listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
right? Sing because you're happy. That's the first reason to sing. And then if you're one of the blessed people that everybody wants to come see sing, that's cool. Do that. But, I mean, it's not like I'm going to be quiet in the back row. Well, no, I would if I was at your show. I would be polite.
See, I'm one of those people who sings when I want to be alone.
It's not true, actually. John has perfect pitch. So I'm going to make this hat whimsical and take it up like that. See how I made that little line there? Just a crazy little whimsical line. You can make your line as whimsical as you like.
Yeah.
Right? Could even be... Oops, I didn't like that.
Didn't
I'm
like
going to
that?
paint that out.
Oh, no.
I don't like it.
Her hat went rogue.
It went rogue. I don't like it. I'm going to change it up. And that's fine. I don't got to worry about that. I'm going to take a little of my white and pick up, even add some blue to it. I'm going to pick up a little of the blue and black. I'm going to come here to this outer edge and add a little highlight. And I'm going to come up here to this inner edge and add a little highlight. And then I'm going to just, see how I go stroke, stroke?
Oh.
Just
now,
a little highlight in this hat. I'm not trying to be all crazy up in here. And I'm going to follow along the top of my hat with a little bit of this highlight marking.
Now, can I make some question comments?
You can make some question comments anytime you want.
Okay, so the directionality on the front of that was really important there, wasn't
Yes.
it?
Good point. That is a very good point. I love that you helped me. So my hat is rounded, so I made sure that while my strokes on these outer edges were vertical, the front strokes are a little rounded. And not too many, because I'm just making a few reflections, right?
Yeah. And you let it be very mixed on the brush there.
This is loosely mixed, not thoroughly mixed.
So it left lots of streakiness and paint streakiness on there, didn't it?
Now I'm going to take a little gesso. See if I can't make that.
Oh, where'd you going? Oh, you're up there.
I'm going to say, I didn't like how that went. It just didn't.
You just gessoed some of that in there.
Yeah. So I'm going to just gesso right over it and then let it have a little rest. It needs a little rest. It doesn't know what it wants.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm going to grab a little more of my blue over to my black. And I'm going to start painting in my rim while this is having a rest. On the rim, I do personally feel that brush directionality is super important all the way around to follow in your brush strokes the circulation of the rim. And also to have a very crisp edge along the hat line.
Hmm.
These are things I think that matter. Not like life or death matter, but very helpful in the resolution of your painting. Come around here. And I'm just making sure I have a nice line along my hat line. And see how I'm being very circular like Saturn? Imagine that you have a little Matchbox car and you're just driving it around the hat rim.
Mm-hmm.
That's very helpful. Very helpful. Little brushes will be helping you out now. Now I'm going to kind of trace around my flowers here because I want those to be super bright. If I didn't trace around them, I just paint them back in white first. Right? But I'm still going to pay attention to my brush strokes.
Noor is very impressed by the crispness of your brush strokes.
Well, some of that is that on this gesso is super helpful. I could, again, use this, but you guys have been asking me for some ways to save some money.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that I regularly do to maybe be a little economical. And it also gives me an art solution that I really like.
And that brush helps with that line, though.
Yeah. The brush is helping, the directionality, the paint, all of it helps. It works together. Think of it as a symphonic. I've got to stop making musical analogies. I don't sing.
It's a symphony of art.
There we go.
Of paint.
Now you can see how that subtle highlight separates the hat here from the hat band. Nice little trick that is. Nice little trick that is. Having a lovely, lovely time. This is a very relaxing painting.
Mm-hmm.
Unless hearing me speak is not relaxing to you, and then less so. I'm going to rinse out my brush really well.
I think everybody here is pretty comfortable with it.
Hopefully by now.
Hopefully by now, people kind of get the jam. All right. And I'm going to get a little of my
my phthalo turquoise that I made at the beginning, right? And I just wiped off my brush because I had too much pigment, and I'm going to get a little of that
Oh,
color.
where are you going? Oh, you fooled
and I'm
me.
going to just
You fooled me. I thought you were going the other way.
paint out my boo-boo. And what I like to do when I'm painting out my boo-boo is sort of feather the edges here. See how I'm softening those edges? They don't really show up, and they sort of blend into the background. That way, I'm the only one who's aware of it. Nobody needs to know.
Only you should know.
Only you should know what's going on in your own painting. So here we go. We're still going.
What just happened?
What?
I don't know. Something.
Look, it's just gone.
It just disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't take a lot. Don't stress on it. Don't freak out on your paintings. The paintings have an ugly stage. They get over it. You make boo-boos in paintings. Everybody does it. Just let it dry. That's all you got to do. Is you just got to let it dry. Just be like, whereas in your life, there can be moments that are really tough to flip around. That can be a harder U-turn. Acrylic paint is not one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And acrylic painting, figuring out how to solve problems in your canvas might help you with some of those more challenging life U-turns.
Yes.
I often sit there and think, well, I painted that big giant painting and it went all crazy. And then I got through it, so I'm sure I can get through this hot mess.
This I can't. Again, I just can't say how much I have enjoyed the designs you've done for this Halloween.
I am so excited for every single painting this Halloween. I mean, each one is like, I did good last year.
Yes.
But this year, they're all hits.
Yes.
Hits!
They're awesome sauces.
Hits! Okay. So, I don't know if, like, YouTube will think so and they'll get a lot of views, but, like, design-wise, I'm super satisfied.
Very fun.
So, I'm going to add my highlight again. So I add a little more blue into my black to mix that color, and I'm making my little highlight with my white gesso. You could use your white paint. And my little vice is just to come along the outer rim of the hat.
Hold on, let me get down there. I got to see the outer rim of the hat. There
Right?
it goes. Slow camera.
Just not too much. And I really want to have it right here where I'm going to have the hair, where the hair is going to touch. See? Because that's going to separate those two fields.
Oh yeah, let me get down
Right?
so you make sure.
And I'm just loose. I'm not real crazy specific about it, right? And I'm not going to go that far up the right-hand side. It's nice. That's all it takes. That's all it takes, man. That's all it takes.
Diane says she's a witch. She made it disappear.
Art witch. Art witches.
You know what does Zoe say?
All right, so I'm going to go like that. See? I just wanted a different line, and it's okay to change your mind on something in your painting. It's okay to change your mind on your life and your painting. These things are okay. All right, so I have that in. I'm going to start her hair.
Yes.
Now, I'm not even going to be that worried about having the blue in the black of her hair.
Oh, let's scroll down.
This can be just even pure black over here. I think one of the important things about this character is this hair color. Though I know many of you said that you really love the character from Storybrooke. So, if you want to change it to red hair, I'm not going to be sitting here as an artist like all freaked out and offended, because this is your painting. This is your art journey. You do it your way. And we have red in the color palette, so you could easily give her red hair.
Well, I look forward to seeing all of the community variations of it.
Yeah, I always love seeing how you guys take it.
This is
just painting in her hair. Don't have to, because it's a matte black and it's flat. At this stage, if I'm not seeing my brush stroke, I don't have to worry about brush stroke directionality. If you can really see the brush stroke in your paint, if it's super streaky, then my advice is to follow the shape so that the brush stroke works for you instead of against you. Good advice. Just saying. All right, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go again. All right. I'm going to come over here.
yes.
Same thing. Up over here around the ear and under the hat. It's just fun and easy to do, man. If you like her, you probably like my Deco Girl with a hat or any of the Deco paintings, or really any of the girl paintings. I do this a lot.
Rakesh would like to know if this is live or pre-recorded.
This right now is live.
How would we know?
Because you just said her name out loud. Also, the comments should be running in the side. When the comments stop running and you have the still comment space below, that's generally when the stream has been over and now it's just uploaded by YouTube.
That's true. I guess those are all good points. I guess we do know.
Was there another better way?
No, I guess.
Oh, I thought you were just like
No.
testing me.
No, I was testing you.
Was I wrong?
No.
Okay.
You did just fine. You got an A.
I got an A? You know I love an A.
I do.
You know I love an A. Okay, so there we go. She's got her nice dark hair. It's just shining in the night, right? That's looking gorgeous. If you see any areas popping on your canvas where the white's showing through, you can just come back with your paint. Don't feel like you can't, see? Even if I come back with just black, it just adds to it. So just know that you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the braid, you know, I create a little pattern. I'm going to do a weird little thing. John's going to catch up with me. I'm going to move the canvas to the side just to improve the positioning. And I'm going to start painting in the braid. And I just need to paint in its basic shape. Its basic braid shape. I cannot believe this, John. It is so hot that the gesso is actually starting to skin.
Christy said you got an A+.
A plus.
Yes. She said it was A+.
John can tell you because we dated when we were both in school. I like my braids.
Very much so.
I had a professor who was really not a fan of me, and that's how he used to mess with me. Is he would temporarily lower my grade, and then when I would go to debate if my portfolio deserved that grade, then he would change it. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Made me so crazy.
Oh, Susan thinks purple hair would be cool too.
Purple hair would be awesome.
There's lots of good hair ideas. I like
There's
the hair
a
ideas.
lot of good hair, but you can kind of see that I'm building the outside shape of that braid. This is not an official hair quest, but hey, if you guys are in the Big Art Quest, this is one of the paintings that you can definitely share in the Big Art Quest group because it's face related, and we're just letting everybody sort of do their Halloween paintings.
Oh, Pink Shadow says it's an A* because it's a top mark in the UK. So
It's a what?
It's a top mark in the UK. So you get an A* there.
Oh, I would care.
Yes.
I would care. I'm a good UK guest.
She
I
would-
can keep it together, though. Don't think that because I'm crazy and wild that I can't be a good UK guest. I can't.
She can't do American English, though, so she probably has no hope over there.
No. No. All right. So I want the hair to be sort of going up and almost defying gravity. I know that's trademarked. I'm just saying. So I'm going to come on the tip of my brush, and I'm going to let this sort of calligraphy this out. So in calligraphy, you use the shape of the tool to give you thick and thin lines, right? And I'm going to do that here so that the ends of her hair are whimsical. They should be whimsical. All right, I feel like that's pretty whimsical. So whimsical hair, that's my feeling over here. Whimsical hair. And you can have it be light and airy, or you can come back and strengthen lines if you feel that they needed strengthening. See? But that's the nice way to get that little shape. And then all we've got to do, I'm going to turn my thing to the side again over here, John, and paint in the dress.
You can do that.
Then we just have to paint in the dress. Paint in the dress. Just paint that dress in. Don't be stressed on it. I really like her Oz necklace.
I do too. I thought that was just the whole ensemble is just together.
She's pretty fabulous, just all the way around. And may we all be fabulous.
She's got that, oh yeah, check out the hat, kind of thing going on.
Oh yeah.
Don't make me let my monkeys fly.
I'm so excited about all the paintings. We got Morticia, we've got Elvira. We have some surprises. Of course, we have the Sanderson sisters. We've got Witch sisters have come back. Stuff is afoot.
Morticia.
We have Lily Munster.
Lily is
we have
gonna be
Morticia.
so awesome. Yeah, there's a couple of surprise guests. I can't wait to see what you put up on Wednesday.
John. All right. So I have her in. I need to give her hair some highlights. I'm going to take a little of my blue over to a smidge of my black. I would say it's 2 parts blue to 1 part black, a little loosely mixed. And I'm going to load up a little white on there. Kind of see that?
Uh-huh.
Just come here. And I'm going to add a few little highlights. See how I went stroke, 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 stroke. The lines are short and expressive. I light pressure here, heaviest pressure here, lighten the pressure up again. Gonna do it over here. Right? Now, the braid. Little blue, little white. So what I'm going to basically do is try to just give the highlights on my braid that show the shape of the braid. So on the outer edge, these are like little commas coming down. See?
Yeah.
Little commas. That's all you got to worry about. I'm going to rinse out my brush. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. We're nearly done.
Really?
And
it's
only
just
the
so
fun
coming,
part is
it's
left.
just like just comes together so
She
quickly.
does. It just comes together beautifully. She's just made to come together.
Just it's so nice.
Isn't she lovely? She's going to look really good in a frame.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's one of the
I don't know what I'm going to look at when I can't just look over here and see you through.
It'll be interesting.
I'm going to need a monitor of you. I don't know. I'll be like alone in here. Actually, I don't care. I'm never going to come out. I'm going to lock the door. Where's your mother? I don't know.
So, so what's coming up tomorrow?
Spooky pumpkin.
Spooky pumpkin.
So this is actually sort of inspired by you guys in the Art Sherpa official group on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And some posts we saw on the website where people were talking about, I don't know how to get that pumpkin glow.
Yes.
How does it look like it's at night but lit up? And I was like, man, I should make a lesson about that. So I did. Because it's the Halloween perfect for it. Plus, y'all needed a new... I have other jack-o'-lanterns, but you guys need a new jack-o'-lanterns.
More jack-o'-lanterns.
So now you have new jack-o'-lanterns.
Yes.
This would be like the 4th or 5th jack-o'-lantern on the channel. But, you know, we try to please. Okay, so the next mixture that we're going to do, now I'm going to put out my CAD red light. Right? Mm-hmm. Color of controversy.
Color of controversy.
And my dog's purple. I'll put it out. I'll be glad I put them out now because they are not all drying out.
Yes.
It's a good time to change your water, guys. See how dirty my water is?
Oh, yeah.
I would say to get the bright colors for the next part of the painting and the gold to really show, it's a good time to change your water.
Gotcha.
So I will do that by grabbing a new cup. I'm going to rinse my brush out real well since I haven't really changed it. Right?
Yeah.
Have it. And I'm going to do her lips first, I think. I'm going to take a little of my CAD red and my dog's purple.
Kimmy says, tell me, Sherpa, spill some tea. Tell me about the CAD controversy.
The CAD controversy. Okay. So cadmium, the metal, right, which is used in several industrial products, construction products, and paint products, is very dangerous to your health and the environment if you inhale it or ingest it or get it inside your body.
I pushed all the wrong buttons there,
and
didn't I?
if it's put into landfills, like say you're disposing of your batteries, it can be really bad. There was several years ago, and they still surface on your Google search, a concern that the artist cadmium was contributing to that issue and possibly a risk for artists, the way lead paint was. However, there's been a huge amount of study, and the current, most accurate, current thinking, and look, guys, it could change, is that the cadmiums used for artist paints are coated, right? They are cadmium, but they are different. When the paint is dry, it doesn't leach into the ground. A bunch of studies were done. They found it had no significant impact at this time on the environment.
And that was a European study, and we actually believe those.
Yeah. We tend to believe the European, but they looked at it really hard. The paint companies looked at it really hard. Some oil companies have even made some cadmium paint. They're like, you could eat this. It's coated. It goes through. Don't eat it. What I would say your real, genuine risk about cadmium is that any paint that you have a risk of having an allergy to. And you should just know that about whatever you're doing creatively. Any glue, any paint, any varnish, anything, you might be allergic to. So, don't, be aware of that. But other than that, don't eat it.
Mm.
Don't breathe it. I would say the greatest concern is those working in the artist paint industry.
Yeah.
And the paint companies I've seen really care about their employees, so
Yes.
they have good, yeah.
They have good
But
practices.
don't breathe your paint. Don't eat your paint.
Yes. Whether it's on a cupcake or
From
not.
brush to canvas, it's cool.
Yes.
Now, listen, if anything ever comes out that says differently, you believe you me, I'll make a video about it.
Yes.
But I did a lot of research. I have an article on I have a blog on the website about it.
You're still using the same brush there?
I'm still using my number 4, and I've mixed my purple and my Diox together, and I'm making the dark color of her lips.
Gotcha.
This is the undervalue. Probably should be switching to a smaller brush, but I'm just not. Because I'm a rebel. So, I don't know if that's interesting, but that's what's going on. And there's a video that some people have done about like the dosing levels for it too. Like, it's not a single exposure thing, it's over time. And you know, I'm no judging on smoking, but you get more cadmium from smoking.
Yes.
So you probably, if you can, not do that. If you can. I hate it when people are mean to smokers. It really bugs me. It's like, be nice. Like,
I'll have to.
I don't want someone
No, sure.
smacking the Cheetos out of my hand because it's not healthy. I really like the Cheetos. I got to stop eating the Cheetos.
You know, I'm going to give you some bubbles because you probably don't know this, but we have over 500 people here with us.
I love that we do.
They're really enjoying this.
I'm enjoying it. Let me bubble up. Let me bubble up.
'cause
Gonna
they-
paint her necklace though.
It's okay. We still have that going. I just wanted to give you a little bit of bubble in the
I
background.
take
'cause
bubbles. I just
know.
just gotta paint her little necklace in.
I just was surprised because I looked over here and I was like, wow. And there's over 450 thumbs up already.
Thank you so much. I
Well,
think
guys.
she's such a beautiful painting, and I so enjoy her, and I'm so glad to share her with you. And I really hope you guys paint her and share your paintings with me.
Yes, that's my favorite.
I'm just mixing
favorite
one to
thing.
one of my CAD purple and my CAD red. And I think I'm going to add that color right here.
Cinnamon, I'll tell you, my favorite thing is just to go out there and cruise social media and see all the paintings that you guys do.
He does do it.
And I mean, I'm getting better. I'm getting better about engaging on social media. I'm practicing, but I'm just I'm shy because I don't know what to say, and I feel like I say things badly, and I mean, which obviously you guys know. You've listened to me speak badly for years now. So you get me alone without Cinnamon. I'm not like without a net. So
No, he does just fine. He's pretty spectacular.
I know I am like completely horrified being out there. So
All right, so I painted what's going to be the gold necklace purple.
yes, giving it some undertone.
Yeah.
Is that the color that will shine through?
That's the color that'll shine through. Let your true color shining through. All right, sorry. But y'all made me do the Cyndi Lauper. Wait till you make me do the Billy Idol.
Oh yeah.
I'm serious. There may be a Billy. I
It-
have some feelings about Billy. You just don't even know.
I can see this community doing an ABBA sing along. I can't imagine that they wouldn't enjoy that. I wonder how I get the licensing for that. I have to go
You
purchase.
don't. ABBA's really tough.
I know.
ABBA
I'd be
does not
be
play.
I know. It'd be
They don't
like,
have no sense of humor about none of that nonsense.
No,
It's not. No.
It'd be awesome. I just see how this conversation
I'm
goes.
just taking this mixture on my poppies. Now, one of the things I'm going to do on my poppies is I am paying attention to brush directionality. And if you'll notice, I'm stroking and pulling back in. And that's helping define my petals. Right? So where I have my petal shape, see how I'm doing this? And pulling back in, aren't I? That's going to help me. It matters. If I need to flip the script and flip my canvas, I do it.
Jennifer would like to know, should I add some yellow?
To what?
I
To this color? No.
No.
Actually, Jennifer, is an interesting experiment. Definitely try that because it's going to grade out. Purple and yellow are complementary colors, and we're at about the maximum of the complement that we can take in the cad red, because cad red is a very warm red.
Now, just as
I'm going to actually make this one, I'm going to mix it just a little more red than the other one next to it so it shows up a bit. See how I did there?
Yeah.
That's just one way that I hold those spaces.
Now, Ashley and
I'll
a couple...
just keep flipping this as I'm coming around, doing my little clock. And John will just RoboCam his little heart out.
Well,
RoboCam your little heart out, man.
Our servos are going on 10.
Yeah.
So, very good. So, Ashley and a couple other of our community ladies were asking if you had a similar plan for Christmas that you did for Halloween here. Are you gonna put together some a run of paintings that will all be similarly themed?
I mean, it would be crazy not to, right?
It'd be crazy.
I mean, we all like these themes. Because everybody likes a theme.
So there's a vote from the community to say, December Christmas theme, please.
You guys get what you want, always.
But we promise not to promise. So we
promise not to promise. But I mean, they always get what they want.
Yeah. So
I'm not gonna. I don't say no to my community. It's not my style.
I guess answering.
It's a good time to touch up any boo-boos.
Answering a request is not making a promise.
That's right. Answering a request is not making a promise. I declare it as a rule.
There you go.
That's...
So we can answer your requests. Are there any more?
We are a problem. Do you know that, Mr. Cooney?
I do. I've worked here for a while.
But I love what we do. I love it so much.
It's my favorite job.
Making these little flowers. So see how I'm just pull stroking? It's like a stroke and a pull. Now, if you guys are one-stroke painters and you have a poppy that you prefer to do here, I'm not offended. I mean, I like my poppy.
There's also a request for us not to forget our Happy Hanukkahs and other seasonal greetings that we shall include.
I understand that.
And we will. I mean, like, we are non at all particular here.
No.
We just like pretty pictures.
I support everybody's every joy.
Yeah, expression of art is what we're after here.
Yeah.
And just...
Sometimes I'm not as informed as I would like to be on a particular topic, and that makes me a little nervous.
Yeah.
Because I like to be always considerate, respectful, compassionate, kind, lift people up. And, I have to think about those things sometimes, how I'm going to accomplish that. I'm going to make a little flower here.
One could say we're more versed in Halloween holidays than we are in religious holidays.
Yes.
We know all of the ladies of Halloween, don't we?
We do.
We got you covered there.
I would say that's more it.
Now, these are the poppies that you're painting.
These are the poppies.
And they go, you're just putting...
Well, okay, so John explained to you, poppies are a big deal to me.
Yes.
Big deal. Probably my very favorite mother-daughter memory is around poppies when she and I were staying in France. And we were looking for poppies. That was like our whole thing. She wanted to paint fields of poppies.
Do you have a field of poppies we can stand in, please?
Oh, my goodness. Just how can you offend a French farmer? Do you have a field of poppies? They're just like, it's like basically coming up like, do you suck at farming?
No, I take care of my fields. I'm not just going to let poppies grow wild in them.
And then there's always some farmer they think is not doing a good job. They're like, you go check his farm.
It's like how to throw shade to other fellow French farmers.
That's crazy. This particular one I'm going to make just a little bit smaller.
You just are making me...
I'm sorry. What I'm doing is, notice that I'm moving my canvas so that I'm comfortable. I'm rinsing this really out. I'm moving my canvas so that I'm comfortable.
I'm ready.
Now, I'm going to, for my convenience, because sometimes like crisp line and stuff like that is a challenge for me. So I'm going to use a 2 bright. This is a number 2 bright right here. And I'm going to just, again, the cat in purple. And I'm going to paint in her stylish buckle.
Okay, hold on. Let me get here. Hold on. Oh, okay, there we go.
I'm going to make a vertical line. Horizontal line. Vertical line, horizontal line. Stylish buckle. It's what you do.
Yes.
Nice, right? All right, let's get some red. I'm loading up on the tip of my brush again. If you've been painting a bright, I would say definitely around this time switch to a detail round.
Mm-hmm.
And And I'm going to come to the top of my lip with this bright red. And to the top of my lip with this bright red. And I'm going to paint the ball of the lip. I'm going to curve here. See how I'm curving? Now, the tracing should help you if this is like an area where you would like normally struggle. A little bit. So she's got her nice little lip shape there. Now I'm going to come under here with this red line, like you do. And
like you do, maybe.
I'm going to start bringing a little of the color in the center of the lip. I want to leave shadow. And I will just pull this back, but I'm leaving the purple shadow. See how I did?
I do.
All right. When you have that in and you're happy with it, you can add a pop of really intense cad. Now across here, let's just, add a little cad across here. And that deep purple gives us a real spark, doesn't it?
Wow, it does.
There we go. Nice, nice, nice. So pretty. So pretty. I just grabbed a little bit so I can just blend it and make sure it just looks nice. But sometimes putting a color underneath a color makes that color look more like itself. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm rinsing this out. I get to come back like you do, right? With some red. Some red. If you want some yellow, you can add some yellow. Depends on how you want your poppies to be, right? See, this is loosely mixed. See how that is?
Yeah.
Loosely mixed. I'm going to come here and I'm going to just pull down. Same sort of little stroke. But leaving the centers dark, not being like super neat or tidy. Right? Pulling down. Look at that. And that purple, it just creates little shadows, right? It just helps me out. Need a little yellow, get a little yellow. You want your flowers to have some personality. Okay, come here. Let's give them some personality. Let's give them... Already with the purple there, it's helping. We'll come back with the black. Let's make sure we flip if we need to.
Yawn. Get up here.
I'm going to do it again, John.
Where are you going? No, no.
Flip.
Hold on. Get up here. Okay.
Flip.
Okay.
I'm going to come here.
Hold on.
I'm going to flip it. It's going to be right here.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a second.
All right, you go.
We're nearly done, guys. Seriously, isn't this cool? It's a really fun painting.
It just comes together so quickly.
It does. When it starts to come together, it comes together really quickly. Now I've just got the pure cad, and I'm just pulling these petals out. It's just pulling this stroke down. They should be delicate. They should be whimsical.
Diane was asking, why do you always loosely mix your colors?
Well, sometimes I loosely mix and sometimes I thoroughly mix, and I'm going to start talking more specifically about that. Whenever I'm loosely mixing, it's because when the paint, like if I've got a little cad yellow and a little cad red, there's a magic that happens on the canvas where it streaks and it creates depth in the painting, and it's painterly. Some artists are very concerned about hiding how they constructed the painting, the media, the materials, right? That's often the whole purpose of hyperrealism, is to hide that it was hand created at all.
Yeah.
And you have to be aware that it was hand created in some other fashion. That's the purpose of that art. But in painterly work, in modern work, a lot of times you're leaving those brush strokes so people are aware of how you made it, what you made it with, those kinds of things, and it gives us great joy in our hearts. So that's why I do that.
Gotcha.
I'm going to load some black on my brush, like you do.
What are you going to do with it?
And I'm going to come here in the center of this little flower, and I'm going to go dab, 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 dab. Give it a little center. Okay? I'm going to flip the canvas.
Okay, flip it.
I'm going to come here.
Uh-huh.
Little dark center. Dab, 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 dab. Isn't that nice? Gonna go there.
Which brush are you using there?
This is still the number 4.
Okay.
Dab, 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 dab. I'm going to flip it.
Okay.
And I go here.
Okay.
Just let me know when you're there.
I'm there.
Dab,
We
dab,
got
dab, 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 dab.
And
And then I'm going to come here and here.
we got it.
Dab, 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 dab.
Yay!
So now we have the dark centers in our poppies.
Oh. So now I'm guessing you're going to go over to the necklace.
I'm going to do my necklace and I'm going to do my buckle. And I'm going to treat myself to the iridescent bright gold fine. I like this paint. It's totally worth it to me. I'm going to always have a tube in my studio. I don't think another company does metallic paint I like as much. That's still a preference though.
Yeah.
So just remember when I'm saying that, you know, you might be like, I really like this other paint better. Totally cool. Totally cool. I'm just saying, if you don't know what to get, that's one I can recommend, and I think they're wonderful to have. And it doesn't oxidize, which is maybe something you didn't know your metallic paints could do. But they can.
They're metallic.
And theirs
Oh,
doesn't.
you fooled me. I thought you were going
So
to the
if-
one first.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the buckle.
Okay.
So if you have a collector who's purchased from you.
Now, I noticed you switched brushes on me.
I did, because I'm making my square lines.
So you got to...
Number 2 bright.
Okay.
Thank you, babe.
That's okay.
Number 2 bright. Let's
And
go
you
here.
just put one layer on there? Now you're
Yeah.
going
You could do 2. You could do 2. You could do 2. I find that the underpainting kind of gives it enough richness, and then as you shift, you can...
Yeah.
It does a thing. All right. Hopefully this is dry, and I'm just going to paint this in with my number 2 bright because it's loaded with paint, like you do. All right, so we're going to definitely finish this with a still shot on the finished piece. So how it's going to go is...
Well, why don't you come over here and show me? We'll just have you hold it up for a second. And
Well, not yet.
You
I'll tell you when, though.
Okay.
But for you guys who are like, are you going to do that? Yes, we are. We're going to do that. I've just got to do Oz. I've got to put in chain. I've got to sign it. We're going to talk about what we covered in the lesson, and then John's going to let us finish on the still shot.
Well, they want a still shot here as soon as you're done, so they can get a good shot of it. Then we can do that again at the end too.
Okay?
Yeah.
Whatever they want.
Yeah, they do.
I didn't just put my brush in my mouth. Never mind.
Didn't do that. That was not supposed to happen, Sherpa.
Mouth sizing is not a good method of sizing your brushes.
And so that's
I'm
the
going to
little
make a little
connector
circle
bit.
there to say that that's the little chain.
The little connectory bit.
And I'm going to make a nice little O.
Oh, yeah.
This is a number 1 detail round.
Mm-hmm.
It just gives me a nice fine line, and it's what I need for this.
Oz.
Oz.
That's nice.
Because she loves Oz.
Yeah.
We don't get this. We don't get this. Some kid killed her sister and took her shoes. It's not cool, man.
So where are you going now?
I'm just saying. Killed her sister, took her shoes. How is that? I'm going to sign this. Just say, put yourself in her place. All right. Also, to have such a serious health condition that you can be melted by water. Anyway.
So here, let's let them see that. Can you go ahead and tilt it over for me so we can get a nice? See if you tilt it. There you go. And actually, perfect. And what I can do is I can come around here and look at that. We can get a nice full frame of that. That turned out really, really nice. That's great.
So now, let's go. So first we mixed a phthalo turquoise using phthalo blue and phthalo green and gesso. And we used gesso to both save money and have a matte finish. And we just painted this all back in around the traceable, which I used the yellow, I'll even show it to you, Ceril transfer paper. See?
Yeah.
Love that stuff, right? Then we mixed our skin color and we put in our shadows first, which we know that the phthalo green is very transparent and streaky. That's how it is, right? So we put all those in. We mixed our skin tone, added a little gesso, couple of coats, used yellow to create the blush, did some highlights in the nose, added a slightly darker value for under the nose. We painted in the hat using the black gesso, the phthalo blue, and then we highlighted with a little white gesso, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, our poppies started out with a base of cadmium red light and dioxazine purple so that we could build up those petals. And that's also how we built up her lips and all of this depth and structure into her red color. We used very expressive lines through the hair, and we even fixed a boo-boo. So I think we covered a lot. Listen, live every day for 13 days through Friday the 13th, where you and I'm going to show you how to win pumpkin. You want to win pumpkin? I'm going to show you how. And your neighbor's going to be like, what?
Yeah.
What's going on over at their house? You'll be like, I won pumpkin.
Now,
Won it. Craft season.
The community out here, we've had a huge crowd here.
Yes,
I wanted you, and they wanted me to let you know that, you know, so we've had over 500 people here. We've had over 500 likes. We've been double Sherpa, and in our bigger project, they wanted you to let you know that we've been double Sherpa there too.
Wait, what does that mean?
So we've been double Sherpa across the board. So
I don't know, and you're going to make me cry. Don't do that. What do you mean?
I think it's exactly what you think it means.
I don't know what that means, and you're freaking me out.
So they wanted to make sure that you know, and we just wanted to say thank you to guys.
Thank you guys so
much. We really appreciate everything that you guys have done. And
thank you.
You mean so much to us. You know, there's just not words for it. So
just not any words for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
I love you very much. I gotta go. I want to see you at the easel really soon.